Here we go, my friends. It's been 4.5 years since I last played this game, and I wanted to pick it up on a live stream and enjoy it with all of you. We are currently live on twitch.tv/Xisuma if you're watching on the second channel. Make sure you've head over there and hit the follow button so you can catch these live streams when they're live. People are tuning in chat as well. We've just gotten started here. And I wanted to start the game with the intro as well. Also, if you hear background noise at all, there's like all kinds of works going on around my house at the moment, so you'll probably hear something at some point or another in the video. I can hear beeping constantly and drills and it never stops. But here it is, Infinifactory. This is it, this wonderful game. And background sound levels, all that kind of stuff, the same as they were a long time ago, so if there's anything that needs changing, and be sure to let me know. I want to be able to hear the background music. I remember it being really good and indulgent. I think we're being scanned, peeps. Scanned for derpage. No derps allowed here. This is some puzzle problem solving we've got to do. Oh, we've been clamped with a suit. How very kind. Melike, Official Jaden, Isabella Online,
Hola.
Soundwave Hope, thank you ever so much for the bananas in chat. Means that we're live. All should be good. Should be able to hear my voice. Mouse sensitivity is kind of up there. Let's just drop it down a bit. When I last played this, I had a different mouse. Yeah, that's a bit more like me, that right there. Build and remove blocks. So you play the game, peeps. Oh no! I blocked myself in! Oh. As you can see, like, you don't need to be super close to anything to place it, which is kind of cool. It's, you know, sort of straight to the point, streamlined. You have a jetpack, and it lets you float in midair. So you use space and control to go up and down. Very nice. This is very good for me. I need to remember all this stuff, right? Uh-oh. Dead body alert! Dead body alert! Okay.
I'm in control. This is my dream. I can wake up at any time.
There's lots of chambers back there. I don't know if you saw it. Wow, the sensitivity is like still probably too much. In fact, I will go and adjust that again. Right, start and stop factory. So you control the factory process. You can stop it at any point and start it over again.
What was that?
So what we're going to look at is a factory
Real. This is just
from like start to end, right? See the number up there? It should tell us how many left we got to go.
That must be a 30-foot drop.
And now we've done it.
It's just a dream.
And we can go through to the next room because of that.
Time to wake up.
Okay, so we know to press R, right? Now we've got a problem. They just end up on the floor. But we have a new block called the conveyor. So, like in the last room, we do that. There is a speed up button. It's F. It's on the screen. So you can speed it up. And we completed another puzzle. Diabolical Jogger says, this seems interesting. If it seems interesting already, the idea has really been well explored in this game. If you like this, you can get hours out of this game. It is tremendous. Oh yeah, rotate blocks. Q and E. Okay. Let's speed it up. Bam, because I want to solve some puzzles today. I've been kind of enjoying doing redstone on stream and doing stuff like puzzles. What did we play recently? Oh, I don't know what's behind the other door. But yeah, like I want to do more stuff like this. I really love it, challenging yourself a bit and trying to figure out problems. It's very satisfying. Got some fanfare music. And we got Evo Tobias Royale here for 9 months. Hoggy Boss 35 here for free. K-Dads for 35 months. My goodness me. Sparx Cross 1 here for the 9. And Tarklucleo is here with 5 months. Official Jaden is gifting a sub to Arch Handrian. Thank you so much for the gifted sub, Jaden. Appreciate it. I feel like I should have a zoom key. I just pressed Z and there was no zoom. I feel so disappointed. Hello? Pine Spiracy says, I've never seen this game before. Can someone explain what's going on? Just keep watching, dude. Just keep watching. I'm like, this is the beginning of the game. Remulus remembers this one. That's good. It's a great game, right? We played it on my channel many years ago. And I think I like completed the game, but didn't realise there was like an expansion set of levels, I think, in an update. Then I think I went back and played a few of them and they were incredibly difficult. Maybe we can skip through this a little bit, you know, and start clicking. I can't move. I can't. Well, I tried to move and then I went down here. Jeez. Oh. Oh, give me some food. I'll eat all of them. I need nourishment. Oh. Oh. Alright, here we go. Puzzle 1, training route. Create a new solution. We've got to create a solution. Now, these are actually people I know on Steam. So these are my Steam friends. Okay, interesting. So other people have played this game, and there are ways of completing a level where you have more optimal cycles, footprint, and blocks. So, you know, like, there's depth to every level you can compete. You can probably compete on a global scoreboard as well. We're just going to solve the puzzles, I think, is kind of like my ambition. What actually comes out of each one? That's kind of important, right? So, that one does not go there. This one does go straight ahead. Okay, and that one goes over there. So, what we're going to do... And, yeah, we can't leave it... Wait, can we leave it running and interact? No, you have to sort of stop to change stuff. Okay, I'm having a little bit of... ye old... Ah! You're in the way. Can I build it at a higher height? Just, yeah. Like that. Okay, so that's how we're going to get that one over there. But, of course, we need to also have them here. It's pointed them in the correct direction for us. I'm pleased with that. We can remove a few of these. Okay, so then this one goes straight ahead, and that one goes over to this side. Since those are already in place, we'll do that. And then here... Yeah, we got the right idea, I think. We can just do that, can't we? Right, now that might be the first level done straight away. And, you know, I've had a bit of experience playing this game. Let's use our backpack, come up here, and check it out. So... all looks good to me, unless I've goofed something up somewhere. Now, I don't really know of any way to make that more efficient. It's all pretty direct, right? So hopefully we get a good score on it. Yeah, we're right up there in the top scoring zone. Pretty cool. Now we get to go back to our cell. Back to our cell. We've got Armoured Monkey here for 29 months. Thank you ever so much, dude. Appreciate it. Democrates has gifted a sub to Drowsy Lapras. Thank you for supporting our community, dude. And Silver Lycan Studios here for 2 months. So glad I'm here for the ride. Thank you for the lovely message, dude. I appreciate that. Glad you're getting something from these streams. So we've got the block conveyor. This is just a profile on the block that we just used to solve that puzzle. King Meal says, seems interesting, lol. Yeah, who's looking forward to this game, right? Like, how's it looking to some of you who are perhaps seeing this for the first time? If you're spamming in my chat over and over again, I'm gonna ban. We don't have our mods here today, I believe. Apparently I missed the train. The hype train? What is this? Okay, right. How do I time out? And there we go. Is Randy here? Yeah, no, Randy's not here as well. Oh no, Randy is here. Oh. Awesome. Glad to have you with us, Randy. Sorry, I saw someone just posting messages over and over again, and I thought, because I know SD can't be here today, so I thought, oh, I better take care of that. Quick question: is this like Satisfactory or Factorio? Yeah, totally, but sort of in between. Oh, BG Monster fans here as well. Sorry, I had information that Estelian wasn't going to be here, and I just kind of assumed, because I also forgot to tell my mods that I was streaming, I kind of assumed no one was here. Gee, oh, making a fool of myself again, am I? Oh yeah, we got this menu. Totally forgot about that. And this is trying to teach us what we got to do, but I've just sort of seen what we got to do, right? What's going on here? They're separated. I don't know what I'm doing. Luckily, these blocks will put them together. Now I'm happy. That's what it says. So, now is it me, or the two types of block different? Does that mean they get spat out? Over here, they look different from one another, but I'm going to assume it'll just accept it, right? And straight away, things might get a teeny bit tricky, although I think my brain is sort of like giving the solution back to me. I think what you want is a gap, okay? Oh, maybe not there? Maybe, yeah, no, okay, right. We're not going to put the thing there because we need to weld it in a particular direction. So we're going to remove that, come down here. Now if I press 2, let's go, do I drag it? I drag it, okay. So we've got these options down here. So I'm going to put number 2 there. And then number 3 here and here. Now they're gonna mix those two blocks together, but the important thing is that one is gonna stop here and the other one is gonna get pushed into it, but then they'll both get pushed along when joined together. So let's start the factory. Hold that thought. 2. Can you... is something colliding? There we go. Okay. I mean, I've done all of this before in the past, but it's been 4.5 years, so it's just great to do these again. Okay, so it stops there, and then they're joined, and then because... Yeah, it doesn't like that, does it? Wrong kind of block. Like... It's only giving us one type of block, right? There's no other place blocks are coming out. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Well, this will be a relatively simple fix. Or we could try and do something totally different. Actually, yeah, I want to do something different then. I want to do something different. So my first thought was that if we can get this one to join this line at the right time, it would be in between each of the blocks. So that would be one way to solve this level. In fact, let's go ahead and solve it twice. I think that would be more interesting for you. So we're going to come here. Well, that's not quite what I'm trying to do. I can tell straight away the first one's going to fail. But to demonstrate the idea, like they would slot in between and then they would be ready to be joined correctly. Now, because we're going to miss out on the first few, as I initially thought that, it's like, well, you've got to bring them both to the middle. So we bring them both to the middle, but now maybe there's an opportunity just to weld them there together and move them along. So that means that we need a bit of space for the welder behind. Let's get rid of all these other things now. There's a bit of space for the welder behind. Still getting used to the controls in my head. I kind of want to rotate before I place down. I think that's due to playing some other games recently where you tend to do that. Now I'm going to assume they're going to arrive here at the correct time. Sorry, if the last thing I didn't said made any sense. In other games, when you rotate before you place. In this game, you tend to rotate after. You rotate the blocks already there. Okay, so that, in theory, if the blocks drop out at the same time on either side, which I'm kind of relying on, and they arrive directly in the middle together, they get joined and then pushed along exactly in as they need to be. How cool is that, right? So I did ask all of you to let me know what you thought of this game so far, and I did see, as we were removing the spammer, that quite a few of you said it looked interesting. It's really fascinating. It's going to get, like, several levels of depth and complexity are going to be thrusted upon us. You will see. Let's continue to our cell. By the way, while we're here, can I get some more food? I mean, like, I'm hungry. Jeez. So now we've got the block and the welder, and we're on to puzzle number 3 of Proving Grounds. So you can see down the side here, there's several scenarios, and I believe when you complete all of them, there's then two sets of pages. So quite a lot. Quite a lot to do. What's it called, says Maraka. It's called Infinifactory. Highly recommend it. Okay, so what's it telling us here? It's showing us basically like a delay. But maybe that's not... Actually, it's showing us the solution, really, I think, because we kind of did this already. So we've got to go to there. 2 blocks have got to be like so. And that means that 3 blocks will need to weld. Now, let's also go check out this fella who didn't make it.
God damn it! What do you want? Take me home.
Yeah, all the little story elements in this are... yeah, they're not that essential to the game, really. We might skip over it. I've seen it all before, kind of thing. So can you see what it's doing? Perfect, right?
About aliens.
We'll speed it up a little bit.
I hated those shows Gerard always wanted me to watch with him.
And as you can see, we get the pretty common average score right there. Now, one thing I'd like to do is increase the input rate to maximum. So now when we play, I'm not sure if this puts you in a different category of like results, or if it contributes to just the normal score, but you can make them run with faster inputs. So we just got the best cycle score, so these others haven't done what we've done there. But the footprint score, others have managed to do it with less. I've got an idea on how to some extent. And block score is higher. I think I know. Right. Okay. So let's think in terms of optimization, right? I think what we could do is put the thing here. Now, another trick might just be to maybe have the welder facing downwards or possibly upwards. But you can't have 3 in a row and have it make groups of 3. You have to have, like, the conveyor belt system, so that probably won't work. Now, once you got them in a 3, they're going to be able to... Let's think about this. 1, 2, 3, they'd get stuck. So you'd need... like that, I think? You get it? No, you probably need one here. Yeah, I don't know if you can make it any more compact than that, but let's have a look now. Yeah, look at that. Look at that optimization and efficiency. See, now we're down to 7 on the block score. Footprint is 18, 74 there. I don't know how you do it with 4 blocks. That's incredible. So yeah, we'll go back to the cell. I don't want to focus too much on that, but whenever I see the opportunity to, you know, create a more interesting solution, we can take it. We got Haha Zyke here subscribing. I've probably butchered your name, but thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate it. You could use 2 welders since one you have made 2 blocks. Oh, I made a jam. I understand. Wait a minute. Now I want to go back because exit to cell is the one. You got me thinking now. That other thing that I mentioned about the welders being... So if the welders are facing upwards, right? Actually, do they do that? That's a downwards facing welder. Anyway, there is an idea to that we only use 2 welders. Let's see what happens. Because they do come through fast. Oh! Well, ain't that something? So beyond that, I don't really know if I can make it more efficient. I can't have the welder face upwards. But that is at least 1 block less, you know? So now we're down to 6. Love it. This is also very cool about this game, is that it's sandbox solutions. And that just makes the game so much more pleasurable, like, in terms of repeating it and coming up with different ideas. Let's check out what blocks we're going to get. I'm not going to up the input cycle. Whoa! I just went down into the void, didn't I? Yep, good point, good point. We actually need to get them out of here like that. So if you want to do this one with the increased output cycle, it's going to be a tough one. Let's see what happens when we have conveyor belts here and an increased output cycle. Oh, you're up there, are you? Sorry, is that maximum output cycle? Wow, it can go superbly fast. So if you wanted to do this with max output cycle, you're looking at one challenge right there. So let's say we go for 5. It's going to have to be less than that. Okay, here's the thing. If we have one stop on a block and the other one fall on top of it, then we can weld it like that. But then we have to move it along again, which I guess means the next one comes along and pushes it. So possibly we are looking at... Whoopsie doopsie. Don't need you over there. Possibly looking at that, then it gets pushed along, at which point we'll probably just accept it being on the ground, right? Oh, that being said, I need to push it all over by 1. Yeah. Fair enough. Made a bit of a whoopsie. And let's give it a shot. Oh, it needs some support. Which means connecting it to the wall will probably make the most sense, right? I could also build this thing higher up. Not really sure if that's necessary. Oh. Hang on, what were we doing a second ago? Oh, right. Yeah. So I'm going to need that there. Got it. Because, yeah, now they fall at different points. Wow, the timing is just precise. Just precise. Now, I've got a suspicion about this footprint score. Because there's blocks. Let's go look at... Oh, wait. I pressed the wrong button. Let's go look at the metrics, because we got it now. We've done it. Femi says, yo, that's sick! Yeah, getting a good solution is always good, right? So, we're kind of in the very common score. The increased cycle pushes us up a little bit. Now, footprint. So, blocks is... You know, the amount of blocks... How do you do it with 3? How do you do it with 3? What I'm wondering is... What happens if we put this on the inside? Because imagine there's like a 3D space here. Then that makes it bigger, whereas this is sort of contained between this coordinate and that one up there. Oh, which also might mean that the better place to put that is here to make it smaller. So let's see if those things affected our footprint score. Footprint is still 13, so no, they didn't. No, it did not. Anyway, we will continue to our cell. Apparently we're being raided? Uzworm, thank you for the raid. And welcome all of the raiders. Appreciate it. What was Uzworm playing? What community are y'all from? I'm from the Minecraft community, mainly. But I love puzzle games. And we're playing a classic from back in the day. So we've got three things we've got to bring down here and assemble into that shape. Oh, you know what? It actually tells us right here. We don't need to learn. We don't need to simulate to learn. Those are the ones. How can we do this with not a lot of blocks? Well, I think sharing a conveyor between these two and lining it up to join over there might kind of be part of the... That's not quite what I was trying to do. Might be part of the way here. So let's see where that ends us up. We have a pause button. Okay, ZF server. Oh, right, okay. Oh, so you know all Hermitcraft, you probably know all of this business. Cool, hope you had fun over there. Dang, that's, just wondering, is the way they're going to come out right? I haven't increased the cycle score, by the way. Might want to increase it a little bit, although... I think I should state that my goal here is to kind of solve these puzzles a little more intelligently. I could probably throw that together, that solution, pretty quick, but I'm trying to envision some smarter ways of doing it. Do we have any new blocks yet? No, we do not. Also, I don't... Might as well chuck that on. I don't think I'm going to use that too often. Let's bring these blocks over here, because inevitably they're going to have to come this way. So if we joined them in that shape and then rotated them, we could probably do it, but we don't have that rotation yet. There is also a strategy I've seen of like sacrificing blocks. So you can let a block fall and then the other ones get pushed over the top of it. You can see that in action. But I don't like doing that very much, because you could like sacrifice the first couple that come along and then let that allow... Oh, I guess it'd be interesting to do that for the sake of doing it, right? Say I don't like it, but let's say we let that one fall there. The problem is this over here is on the wrong side, but that can be changed rather easily. So if I build the conveyor here at this height and drop it on that side, that's a thing. And I think what I want to do is remove that. Now there, did you see that? They're in the correct shape all of a sudden. So if we do that, and then we gotta weld it all. Like 3D welding all of a sudden. Now it might just be that the block dropping there isn't the necessary space for it to drop. So let's pretend that that's not where it's going to get dropped, although the next bit is still kind of tricky. Yeah, I think we're going to have to use like multiple heights here. So if I bring that across to here and then drag it this way, but we're gonna place a block here and here and remove that after I do this. See how it plays out. Oh yeah, we're gonna need another one of those. See how it plays out now, right? So then we're gonna want to put welding here, I believe. This is not feeling like an elegant solution, but it is definitely a solution in the works. Okay, just double check that is correct, yeah. So now what needs to happen is it needs to get over here, and here we're going to weld like this. And when that next piece falls down, it's going to move it along like so. And I believe I put one there and there and there. We're going to save a little bit. We can actually sort of do the same at this level, but the problem is Actually works, I think. Let's see what happens. This might be it. This might be it. Okay, we sacrifice a block. Then we bring in that one. Oh! Oh, it's good. You like it, don't lie. You like it. Okay. I like it very much. What a solution. So, cycle score. Some of the other players went with higher ones. Footprint, we managed to get the lowest on and block the lowest on. So, I think our sacrifice block challenge helped. I don't see like that being penalized anywhere here, which is interesting because you might be able to up the cycle score and sacrifice a couple more blocks in order to get that faster cycle score. Let's see what happens when we jump the input rate up. Okay, it looks like it can support one more than that. Yeah, that's good. No, it broke. Oh, right, so the first one here gets to that spot too quick. Interesting. Well, there might be a way to fix that, funny enough. Let's say we don't put the emphasis on moving from there. Let's say we put it from here. Then I think we probably need that there. Okay, so... yeah, now that's fixed it. Just have to, it has to wait, basically. And that gets our cycle score a little bit higher. Fascinating stuff, right? Fascinating. So you can choose to prioritize something. Do I want to go with block score or cycle score for a solution? As we play this, I do want to push myself a little bit to explore more of what's possible. So we will look for levels where one of those becomes perhaps an obvious solution. TJB says this game is so cool, isn't it just right? Don't worry about the body, says Centre Wing. Yeah, we're going to skip all that stuff. By the way, we've been playing for 30 minutes and I've got a hot cup of tea here. I wish I'd have started drinking this 10 minutes ago. Cyber Guinea says, I will give $1 million for a face reveal. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. My price is $1 billion. You know? Better luck next time. Hey, I got a trophy! Kangaroo kickers. If you had fun, you won. Slurpage. Yes, slurpage. Drop trophy. Wait, I want to put it somewhere on display. Not in the toilet. Is that a toilet? It's on the toilet. I'm hungry. Give me calories and sustenance. Oh, I'll take the one to the floor. Don't roll under the bed. I got it. Don't worry, peeps. Okay, we are now on Skydock, the second page. We've been elevated to the Skydock. And didn't we have like 4... yeah, Professor Jeffy, you never got past the second page of puzzles. What's going on there? What's going on here? Ah, yes, sensor and piston. When it senses a block, it pushes the piston. We're going to the next level. I believe you can fly over to some of these. Nope, no you can't. Seem to remember flying around. Yeah, don't leave the platform. I seem to remember flying around some big buildings at one point or another, but they were probably part of the level. So, where do our blocks come from now? Oh, there's so much more stuff available to us, right? Let's have a look. Sensors. 2 different types, and a pusher and a conduit are now available. Right, looks like we've got this, and because we can't remove these blocks, we're going to have to push that off of the... well, actually, it kind of looks like it's just the one block that needs to get moved over here. So this is like our introduction, I guess. Now, we might see we have to play a little bit of a timing game. However, I think I'm going to use the cycles here. Let's actually put a conduit in between, just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so if I start now... Right, notice how the one behind pushes the one in front. Now, next experiment is to see if that'll work. That won't. This also may break if we increase the cycles. Let's go for max. I know what this is. This is a downwards facing sensor. Ha. Even though we're pushing out the maximum amount, like the piston speed slows everything down. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy that. Can I enjoy that? No, I've got a theory now. So, you know, let's actually, before we do that, let's just solve it first of all. Just straightforward. Gonna solve it. Okay. Fast forward. We'll see what score we get. Then I'm gonna try and solve it faster. Okay. So cycle score, not as fast as Jammy. Footprint could be lower, and then the block. Again, I don't understand the block score. Like, how do you do it with 4? There's some sort of voodoo magic I'm not thinking of here. Anyway, so now what we're going to do is put a secondary piston here, attach a conduit, and add that. Now, 2 will get pushed out at once. And it kind of looks to me like you could perhaps have 3 in a row. That seems to be the limiting factor. So let's go ahead and do that. Still something funky about that. It does give us the best cycle score. Footprint hasn't changed. Block score. Let's try 4. But I really don't think that's gonna. It's not gonna end up looking like I want it to look. Like, I can see the problem quite clearly, actually. Okay, let's remove the last ones. I think it's more of a case of perhaps this one, and then have something like that as well. Let's see what happens now. Almost. See, they're sort of clustered a little bit closer together. So there's some kind of cluster logic here. So if they're all coming out at the same time, maybe I've almost got it. Like, well, whenever I put one down, it's going to have to wait for the other one. That's what I'm thinking. So maybe it doesn't matter really. Yeah, there's always this moment of waiting. I'm not going to dwell on that too much, but do you see what I'm getting at? Yeah, I'm not going to dwell on that. I want to keep powering through. I don't want to get hung up on like, you know, trying to complete it. But there's definitely something to that. Like, the piston speed stops it all, and then it starts again. Oh, wait, no, my brain just came up with a solution. Something that I wasn't thinking of. Wow, thank you, brain. Like, maybe we should be doing it like this. Very nearly. very. Never mind. We'll move on. You know, I'm fine with it. That was interesting. So we might get a new block. Oh no, it's telling us about the new blocks. Yes. So now we're going down here. We can do these in any order we like. Let's go create a solution. Liger Gaming here for 5 months. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. I'll hit you up on Discord later on. I haven't opened it since this morning. Oh, what we got going on here? What's going on here, eh? So, they're all the same. So, are we creating like a splitter here? And we didn't unlock anything new. Actually, I think we're kind of doing what we've already done. The way I'm going to solve this is like a so. Oh, actually, the way they're aligned... excuse me. It's kind of encouraging me to do something a little different than I want to. Because I want to use as little blocks as possible. And to use as little blocks as possible, I guess this is probably the way. This is the way. Okay. So a piston is going to... Oh, there's a point. Like, if I bring all of this out by one, it is therefore more block efficient, in theory. Let's get rid of all of that, you know, for that one block difference. Okay. Now what I want to do is replace some of these blocks. So we're going to have that there. So first one's going to go there, second one, and then the third one... This might not work with a fast cycle rate. Actually, if I think about it, it'd probably make more sense just to add an extra block down here. Okay, just like that. Now, what we're going to do is sense... let's put you there. Actually, I'm going to put you... It kind of just makes sense to use this one, I think. And then put these in. Oh. Ah! Alright, that should be really straightforward right there. Let's try this with max input rate and see what... Oh, I missed a block. What a dirt, what a buffoon. Oh. Oh jeez, how could you miss that, X? Right. So max output rate, let's see what happens. Ooh. It's gonna work. Oh, it's working beautifully. Look at that. I just realised if I drop the three of them in the middle like this, I could make it even more block efficient. I'm gonna do that. I want to go for maximal block efficiency. Okay, so cycle score 84. I got max input rate. What's going on? What's going on? I don't fully understand these things. I reckon we can get 29. And block score, again, 11. What are you doing? What kind of cheats is this? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to move our platform. Oh, maybe there's like smarter ways of pushing them off. Like, do I need to push off two? Like, I don't need to push off that one, in theory. Yeah, let's experiment with that as well. Okay, so I'm going to have... Let's think about this. I'm going to have 1, 2... Now, let's say 3 was there, so it falls straight in. It would just be those two. I'm not sure if there is a way here just to make this a little bit cleverer. Anyway, they're gonna get pushed. Okay, let me think about this. They're gonna get pushed from there when one comes over to this sensor, and that's the one that simply falls down. Like, why bother with all of that? Simplify. Minimal effort for the path of least resistance. Okay, now we have 2 blocks dropping into this space, so one of them gets the easy rotation to there, and the other one has to have 2 blocks. So it'd be nice if it could do it with just 1. So now we go over here, drag all of that, rotate, eliminate, and we've done it with 1 less piston this time. Interesting. Let's see that one in action. Oh look, the speed is actually coming out super fast and then it gets messed up. There's definitely something to be learned about cycle speeds here. I didn't notice that last time. So if I want to achieve maximum cycle score, I'd probably split them up over there and then make 3 different tracks. Anyway, we got the best footprint score. I'm taking that. I'm taking that. Let's continue to our cell, my friends. By the way, 800 peeps have tuned in. Thank you so much for coming by and checking out this puzzle game. Be sure to hit the follow button if you're enjoying it. Talbar says, reminds me of Mindustry. That was a cool game. Yeah, these are all like a similar family of games, like Redstone, Mindustry, Factorio, Satisfactory, Shapes, and now Infinifactory, which was out quite a few years ago. Mindustry is updated, says Baron. I'll keep my eye on that game, but my issue is once I play a game and get a good feel for it, I tend to struggle to go back to them and enjoy them again. I've been playing a little bit of modded Factorio at the moment. I decided that rather than just jumping into a stream, I'd try and learn a bit more of it again, and kind of umming and ahhing about what to do. I want to find some mods that add the right sort of challenge to that game. But yeah, I'm looking into doing some Factorio, and I've got some other stuff in the works. Right, now this, oh, I love how the game just steadily gets a little bit more complicated, like one step at a time. Now what we could do to reduce block score is to weld here, and that would allow us to use these things spaced out. But we need two different shapes, and I'm going to guess it's only going to give us the one. Fortunately for us, it's going to be rotated in the right direction. We'll try and do this with the old cycle speed turned up again. Now obviously we need to... Oh, no, there is a way we can save. We make the mechanism straight away. Yes, yes. So... I think we can do this with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This is interesting. I can't, you know, it'd be interesting. I'm gonna have to go back and watch how I did these on my old YouTube videos, because that's gonna fascinate me. I'm gonna be like, oh, you didn't think of that, did you? Oh, will this even? Hang on, no, this is gonna work like a fair bit differently than I initially thought, but it's. Hello? Wait. I turned the input rate down? What a buffoon. Max. That's what we want. Ah, it's welding them into one big thing. Which means I'm going to put that there. Let's see what now happens. Right. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So what I'm thinking is... we kind of want to alternate and be able to just stitch one extra block onto this. If I don't have that there, they get stitched into freeze. So, you know, this could be a space for a piston. But how do we create a every other type of environment? I mean, we might get lucky if some sort of timing over here happens to work in our favor. So we detect that coming down, and it just happens to be the right time. Doesn't look like it's going to do... oh, wow, okay, immediate trouble. So that's not it. I mean, playing at the max input rate might be a bit of a silly idea. You could sacrifice the conveyor belts and have an infinite strength. You could be pushing blocks over the top of other blocks. Oh, right. I know what you're saying. That's a very strange idea. We'll try that on a level when it becomes apparent. I think I get what you're saying. Like, I don't have these ones here. I just let other blocks fill them in. But for now, I just want to focus on the solution a little bit. Like, so that hasn't helped, obviously. We can weld facing downwards, which might be useful. Maybe we... this is quickly going to start using a lot of blocks, but if we pushed into the welders... that would require a lot of pistons. Sean Nave says, what about staggering the welders? The problem is that they move through and constantly get welded together. Let's just see what happens about that again, because... See, that's different, isn't it? So the problem then becomes, how do we just get one odd one over here every now and then? I don't think sensors and pistons will help us very much, unless we do this the other way around. So the time at which that thing arrives over there might mean we push off the one we want to use elsewhere. So we get 2. It's also then going to end up doing that consistently. Like, there's probably some logic behind getting this to work with like alternates, but I'd have to learn that right. And then after a while, look, it starts pushing them over the top. Which is curious behaviour, actually. I wonder if that can be exploited at all. Considering that they're... Actually, maybe that can be exploited. Again, thinking with pistons, I'm seeing a lot of solutions, but I'm just trying to come up with that one. Where it's not quite. I think maybe we need more blocks, like there's rotation blocks and whatnot, before we are able to kind of like use those to alternate outputs. But that's what I want to figure out. Like, how do we alternate? Like, we've got to split 3 into 2, which means our alternating is potentially not even like one then the other. It's like 2/5 and 3/5, right? Alright, I think I'm going to go for a solution with pistons that I can actually build. It's nice trying to think of the shortest possible solution. And maybe we'll like stick around and try and figure that out. But for now, what we can do is have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like so. Now at max cycle speed, if I then use pistons, we slow down the cycle speed. So we probably won't be doing this with that. But we'll have like 1. I wonder if using the edge here might make sense. Save a block. Probably overthinking it. 1, 2, 3. I'm also wondering, what if there's a way to save... Like, if you have this... I'm pretty sure it'll tell you it's an error, but like a 3 can pass through that space, can't it? So I'm looking at sending the 3s in the other direction. But maybe I could send them all in the same direction. I'm going to experiment a little bit. Experimenting is fun. Let's actually do this to send them all in the same direction. Okay, then we'll have that going on. So all 5 of those blocks get sent over. Those 2 get welded there. These 3 get welded here. And then we want to get them in line with that. Believe that's... I think you can do every other one at that point. And over here... Yeah, you would still need that one. Okay, so then when it lands down here, just... Don't know if that'll work. Let's see what happens. Like, pretty sure I probably missed something, but here we go. The blocks will get pushed along. 3 and a 2. Now here's the interesting bit. It lets it go through. Oh, we need one more. We need one more. So I can... Now I feel like I can do that, but I can't, can I? Right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good in terms of footprint, I think. That's a reasonable amount of blocks being used here. We're on max input cycle, which is possibly it's backing up by 1 every time a piston extends. Which is a curious observation. So this is actually like not great in the long run. It's wasteful, but we're going to get away with it for now. There's got to be a penalty for that I'm not aware of. So that puts us at the top of cycle score, footprint not so great, and block score kind of in the middle. How do we manage that cycle? I guess what I'm thinking is, when we have this overflow, how do we keep all of this going without that? I think effectively you are going to have to introduce a second set. So if you wanted every single block to get used, you'd have to have like an overflow chamber over here to take those in. It must be very hard to balance all of these attributes, right? Anyway, we're going to go do another one now. And hopefully we can, you know, I'm looking for like interesting solutions each and every time. So now what we're going to do is assemble something that needs to be split into 2. Are you going to give me a new block for that? No. So I'm guessing assembly, and then when you have 2 on the assembly line, you send them in different directions. So it might make most sense to kind of build this one backwards so that we optimize space a little bit. So if this thing's going to be 3 wide, let's have you there, and then I guess the next one is sort of here, and they're gonna end up going in and then pushed off. So one of them will be like this, and one will be like that. So I think actually we want that there. Then we might be able to remove some of these blocks later, so we'll optimize later. But let's say we're waiting for them to get pushed into here, and then when they're, yeah, like we don't need those blocks. In fact, I technically don't need that one either. Okay. What I do need to do is push them off on either side. So I need a block there and a block here. Is it starting to make sense now? Oh, you're in the wrong spot. Yeah, looking good. And in theory, I don't have to have this in the middle. So we could aim just to... What side is it closer to? Yeah. Okay, so all of that's redundant. And the one that gets pushed here needs to be pushed on that, and it needs that one to push it all the way in. One that gets pushed here will end up on that block. And that would actually pull it in incorrectly. I think it actually needs to be there. So we kind of need that. Although, that might then push it further over. Yeah, okay, so I think that will get these shapes in. So now what we want to do is bring the blocks over and then weld them. Now here's the interesting thing. Let's turn that cycle up. I think I might want to do this one without the max cycle rate. We'll tone it down a bit. So we get twice as many out of this side as we do that one. Obviously we're going to bring it all in this direction. What happens if we put it all on the same belt? If we do, I can't help but feel it makes more sense to do that the other way around. Let's have a look at what happens when it's all on the same belt. By the way, we've got Lucas Barron here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Can you see how they're kind of in order? We sacrifice a block and then they're in order. Now, the way I want to assemble this would mean that we want to turn the corner at some point, which I've observed to slow things down. In this case, it's not going to. So you can see the shape emerging already. So it actually makes more sense to probably put all of this back here. Probably going to need space for the welder. One goes off the edge. Not sure what I'm looking for here. That moment. I'm looking for that moment there where one comes through. Here. Okay, so I've got a feeling... Yeah, that's going to happen. Fair enough. First one sacrificed. Oh, then, do you see where it ends up? Over here. Right, now the only thing I can say about that is that if that thing were rotated, which we can't then rotate it back, we could save conveyor belts, but that's not going to work. So now we need to align it. And hopefully, just a little bit of wiggle room like that is all we need. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. First one is sacrificed. Okay, what happened there? What happened there was... I think I can see. Just wondering what's the best way to do this, because it is free wide, right? Like, that's going to push it all the way until the edge is there. So I think what we need is that. Let's see what happens, right? Dang, that looks like it. I never put the sensor in at the end here. Which in itself is going to add a few blocks. However, if we use the downward sensor, it will save one. Right, let's see it in action. Tom Smith says, what do you do in this game? You are watching what we do. We solve the solution at the end here. I guess, who's tuning in? Who's confused? Hand up in chat if you need an explanation of what's going on. And I'll walk you through it again. That's beautiful. This is a beautiful solution. I love it. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22... 23. Jeez, like 25. Oh, the hands in the air, they just keep coming. They just keep coming. I'll explain it again in the next episode. Next episode? Next level. Right, footprint score is pretty darn good. Oh yeah, like the graphs here are for everyone playing, and then these numbers are for your friends. Just realised that, didn't explain it earlier. So I'm pretty happy with that, because we're ahead of the curve on most fronts, you know. Big brains over here. Okay, I actually should have gone to the cell. Right. Okay, so we're playing a puzzle game. Each level that we go into is an isolated puzzle we have to solve. Now, this is a very sandbox solution, meaning you can probably quite easy create this rocket with the tools given to us. These are the tools right here. Platforms, conveyors, welders, sensors and pushers. You can think of those like pistons and conduits to send signals. So this is what we got to construct, and this is where we get the parts. Now, because it's a sandbox solution, there are many ways to complete it. And based on how you do that, you will achieve efficiency in the amount of blocks you use, in the speed at which you assemble, etc. So there is no one right way to do this level, which was what makes it so great. You get to put your own kind of feel on how you solve these problems. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is bring all of the blocks onto one conveyor. The reason that I'm doing that is because I'm trying to reduce the amount of blocks that I use in order to create this solution. Because this is vertical, I am also going to use height here to drop those blocks in. Now, I got no idea if they're going to come out at the right rate, and it looks to me like it's going to give us the correct amount, the correct ratio. Let's speed up our cycle speed a bit, and then we're going to put it on max. Because in theory, let's watch that again. In fact, let me just make a modification here. Let's watch the rate at which they come out at. So when we put up max cycles, it doesn't appear to respect the ratio, right? I think we're getting like 2 to 1 instead of 3 to 1. Let's speed it up and then pause it. Just rough eyeball, that is not 3 to 1, clearly. So let's turn down the cycle rate. Turn it down a couple of pegs. Right, that is 3 to 1 right there. Okay, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to increase the cycle rate. And by the way, if you're playing this, I'm going to turn it down by 1 because I wasn't sure about that. If you're playing this for the first time, don't mess about with the input rate. This is me making it harder for myself, okay? We've got Lucas Barron here with cheers and bits. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support for what I do. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're entertained. Okay. Hey X, how do you increase the difficulty of a target block? I don't know what you mean by a target block, but like we are increasing the input rate, the speed at which the blocks come out. The faster they come out, the more precise your engineering has to be to control them. Okay, so now that we've established that, let's see what happens on this conveyor belt again. The problem essentially is that this one comes out a little too fast. Now I can get a bit cheaty here and I can sacrifice blocks, or I could send it around a faster conveyor belt. Right, and that does not work in our favour at all. What other way have I got of doing this? Maybe just try the faster 2, 3. Yeah, these two come out at the same time. So even if we try and play the sacrifice game, it's not going to work. So I think what we actually have to do is... That's not the way. Do a little bit of this. It's probably easier if I just rotate blocks. Even though all the keys are like... Well, they're close together. I keep pressing the wrong keys. This is kind of annoying. Okay, so 2, 3. The fourth one came out. Let's change that clock speed again. Gets out just in front, and then that one comes out too soon. Okay. So I think what I want to do is abandon the idea that this is the optimal way to bring it all out. Also, if I'm going to stack them vertically and weld them vertically, that one needs to go first, which is kind of troublesome. Let's try it. I can actually sort of count the blocks, right? 2 and 2, they're going to arrive at the same time. So let's say they go like that. 1, 2, 3. Then that one comes and almost makes it. Almost makes it. What happens if that goes straight through there? Oh, then that one takes priority. So very close. So very, very close. I'm not sure what else I can do to aid myself in this situation now. Let's say that one does take priority, right? What about now? Yes! That's it. Okay, so this one takes priority. I don't know how the game decides that, but it does. And because of that, we can exploit it and push out all the blocks in the correct order. So that's the first part of this puzzle. I've decided I want to assemble it vertically, and now we have gone and putting all the pieces together in the correct order. That's pretty much most of the challenge for this one. Now we're going to weld. There were 3 parts, right? 1, 2, 3 in the middle. Oh, I know what we do. We go forward by 1. Not enough space is the problem there. I actually don't need the block at the bottom anymore. I will need an extra conveyor here. Right, let's check it out. That might be it. Oh, no, look over here. Yeah. No, it's not going to work. Also, yeah, okay, all of that makes sense. Right, two big problems emerged. Two big problems. Number one, we actually need to sense up here that the top part has arrived. Oh, which is equally tricky because, like, it's going to get activated every single time. Oh, this just got complex. The other thing is that our the way our input here works, it isn't sustainable because there's a delay, and then the blocks start to build up, and then they come out of the wrong order. So I'm going to solve that problem by turning down the. There you go. Oh no, that still didn't do it. Let's have a look. Why did that? Okay, because the cycle speed is now faster, I believe it means we need these. Sorry, slower. We need these again. Now let's watch it. That looks consistent now. And that appears to be consistent over and over again. Same pattern. Good. That means it's sustainable. Right. Next problem is over here. How do we detect that last one going in? Oh my word, that's interesting. Javacullen says piston at top pushing the entire rocket over only when it's full. How do we detect only? That is a valid idea, but the problem is, how do we detect the only part? Okay, because you might be thinking put a sensor at the top, but you know, let me show you what happens when we do that. Okay, that is actually above the height of the rocket, but it will emphasize the point. Piston gets activated over and over again, you got a problem. Now, welding it in multiple parts might be a solution. Oh, there you go. Wait, no, again, same issue, I'm thinking. Same issue. You can make an AND gate with 4 sensors. Oh! I did not know that. How does that work? How would an AND gate work with multiple sensors? Wait a minute, is it just a case of... Let's see what happens when we have 2, right? And they both don't get oh, that's a problem. No, see, look, that gets activated. So how do you use multiple to make an AND? Are we using... Oh... So we can detect... Can we detect... Hang on. Let's put that there. Yeah, wrong button again. What happens... Okay, sensor doesn't detect the piston. There must be a way to tell the sensor, like, something other than a block, or maybe you capture a block to maneuver it. So you could have like a counter, like, yeah, like you. Oh, there's going to be other forms of logic involved. I don't think we're going to go for that as a solution. But yeah, there's potentially the idea of using this in a very different way. Now, one thing we can't do is put our sensor further back and be like, when there's a block over here, extend, because they come through so consistently. You can enable a welder only when the sensor is active. No, I think welders are always active. Move the top of the rocket and sensor to the bottom. Probably same issue. Like, look what's going to happen, right? One lands at the bottom, and then it's too soon. How does the AND gate work, though? Like, that's what I'd like to know. Now, I can already think of a solution, which is to not use this bit at the start. Like, if we bring this one here over separately, then we only detect that when it's in the top position. That's probably more doable than this. However, I'd like to just try and figure this one out, like. And I'm not really seeing anything. Because we can't use sensors. One thing we will have is a full rocket, at least the first one. I don't know if that's useful. Someone says press 6. That's the downwards facing sensor right there. And gate is send a signal when all sensors are on at the same time, says Herdem. Right, but how? It's easy saying that, but how? Because that's not how conduits and sensors work. Detect the top part getting out. The top part is a constant flow of items. Therefore, you're going to activate the piston consistently. Look what the piston's doing. We need to create a unique event or have some sort of counting system. Again, everyone's sort of suggesting the same thing. The blocks that get pushed over, well, look at what the piston's doing. When do you want this piston to fire? Not now, not now, not now, not now. Now. So how do we get it just for that one? That's the trick, really, isn't it? Try to get all the blocks behind each other with a piston splitter and make them drop an extended piston. There's a bit of an idea there. Connect the orange. We don't need to activate this piston down the bottom here. Look, I'll do it. I'll do it. You'll see why it goes wrong. Okay, it's not as simple as sensor and piston. Okay, can you see the issue? Not that simple. That being said, what if there was a way we could hold it in place? So we push it, but we're also, like, maybe if this is extended, right? Like, this is just an experiment, just a what's going to happen type deal, right? Like, that's going to stop it from... Not quite. Not quite. Push the wire and create an AND gate. I don't think wires are pushable. Let's find out. Yeah, you can't push wires, so that's not the way. Can you do a NOT sensor? Possibly, but not that I'm aware of with what we got right now. Jaxus Prime says, what if you had a sensor's power and once all the sensors went off, the piston activates? Yeah, we don't have the ability to, as far as I'm aware, to combine all of the inputs together. Like, that's not how it works. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sacrifice this idea to some extent, and we'll look at another way of doing things. It's going to involve having something come around here. Although I think it's probably best it doesn't fall down. So we're going to bring in a block here. That block is going to be sensed. We'll sense it over here. That being said, it actually gets sensed from the ones falling down here. And this has a bit of a instantaneousness to it. So maybe I use... Okay, essentially, what I don't want to do is detect any of the blocks over on this side. I want to detect them on this side. The problem is, there's going to be a delay. I can't go higher. I could go out wider. So if this conveyor belt was... I think I have the same issue. I want to detect it at the point it goes into that lane. If I could bring these ones out higher and send them upwards, then I could drop it in from above where this sensor would never detect it. I got a solution. I got a solution. Okay, it's okay. I know how to do this. Right. Right, we're going to detect it from somewhere else. That's what we're going to do. So now what we need to do is forget all of this. We're going to bring it out. Unfortunately, we're going to do this with 2 of these. Remember, I was trying to save blocks. Wrong button. This one's going to go all the way over here. And yeah, that's fine. So what I need to do is just look at the position of this. This also means I think it might be smarter to avoid the initial collision. Yeah, I'm gonna actually rebuild a lot of this. We're gonna avoid the initial collision there because it's no longer necessary. This might allow us to increase the clock speed a bit as well. Nope, nope, it doesn't want to. What if we do that then? They do it with collision. Not sure if that's good or bad. We'll roll with it. We're trying to get a good score. So if we're doing this setup, then we will do it with the increased cycle score. Okay, so both of these are going to come all the way over to the edge here. Right, all of these welders now need to be over by 1 block, because that's the place where they now drop down. That means putting you here, and we're going to have the piston over by 1. Piston actually doesn't need to be there. It could be here. Okay, that's interesting. Oh my goodness me. I'm an idiot. The solution I've come up with would have worked in the previous setup. Oh! Oh no, maybe, okay, well, let's build this, and then I think I've got a way in which we can make it like it was last time, okay? So that's that. We don't need this block anymore. Let's watch it in action. Okay, missed a block. Right, so rather importantly, this one needs a little bit of slowdown. Is that enough? Probably not. It looks very close, actually. Oh, too fast is the clock speed. Let's try again. Actually, the clock speed's all kind of messed up here. Right. So it kind of actually almost looks like it's going to work better if it's faster, funny enough. But then that's going to mess everything up. Let's go down by 1. Huh. It's almost like when this one comes out again, it's just the perfect timing to mess the other one up. So we got to squeeze that in between those two. Let's actually add in a few more of these then. See, now it looks like... Oh, it still doesn't beat it there. If I turn down the clock cycle, so there's more space between, it comes out faster. That is irritating, but I think that's what we're going to end up going with. And again, this might mean the last one we had would have been better. Okay, it still needs more. Right, that looks promising. Yes. Okay. Right, I need to do something very important now. And that is... Pause. Wrong button. No. Almost. Okay. Where is this? That's the question. I'm going to count it as being above that block. So I'm going to put that there. Put this here. Conduits. Like that. Okay. It's not pretty, but... Oh! Did it all just come together? There's probably some sort of cycle issue waiting to build up. Oh my... we're building rockets! We're building rockets, peeps. Did you think I was going to do it? Did you think I was going to do it? Hey, hey, hey! Cycle score be up there. Footprint score's not bad. Block score, We're actually going to do that one again. Did you enjoy that, peeps? Did you enjoy it? Right, here's what I'm thinking. Let's go back to the original setup and just use what I deployed there. Now, we did learn something about the original setup, and that is that the clock cycle was faster, but it might have not have been the right way to go about it. Okay, I think if I remember correctly, it was like this. So that comes out to this spot. Alright. Probably going to need those in again. Clock speed was like 5, so 2, 3. Alright, and now is it going to get retroactively messed up? Yes. So the clock speed must have been 4, and then that's too close, therefore we need a little bit more of this. Okay, that is consistent. Did that just... That was... Hang on. I think that is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's consistent, okay? Now we have consistent output. Let's simulate... Actually, let's get this prepared a little better. Get rid of you. Okay. This... Oh, wait a minute, we don't need that block. Because it connects there. Very cool. Okay. So now, we need one more here. Now we've got to put in our piston. Very good. And a conduit to connect it to the wall. Alright, that counts. Okay, so at the point that the rocket falls down, which is now. This don't look so good. This don't look as elegant, but it appears to be there. And it means it gets activated a couple of times before we arrive. Okay, so then we end up with that, right? Oh, it works! It works! Look at that go! Look at that go! Nice. Nice. So we just increased our scores a little bit, didn't we? Best was 77, now 63. Yes, we just increased on all fronts. Pretty good. Pretty good. I like. Me likes. Let's continue to the cell. Man, I'm enjoying this. Who's enjoying this as well? The time is flying by. Solving some puzzles. Here on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma. Hit the follow button. You know. I say it all the time. I say it far too often, don't I? Couchy says, yes, this is great. Yeah, it's been on my mind for a while to play this one again, and I just had this feeling I'd really, really enjoy it, and boy oh boy am I. Oh, do I get to take that? Armpits of iron. That's hilarious. Okay, that one's going in the sink. Ah, calories, food, nutrition, vitamins. Give me. Gimme. Alright, that was our performance review. Now we have the test zone. What is this? Oh, you get to, like, experiment. I don't know, we'll have a look at that before we're done with the rest of the stream. For sure. Right now, though, optical sensor array type 2. Looks like there's a new block coming our way. Let's create a solution, peeps. We've got a problem, let's create a solution. Rotator blocks are being introduced. Alien looks at block rotates, alien is happy. Cool, so... Ooh, that's like a built-in sensor here. That's not in our arsenal of blocks. Let's find out what's up with that. Like, is it special? I don't remember that one. Oh, look at that. We've got to print onto them, haven't we? It's like a printing device. Here's the thing, a welder... Wait, no, wait, did it already print? Yes, sorry, it already printed it. Got it. Now, we've got to get... That's probably welded, okay? That's not two separate things. That's going to be welded, okay? They're not two separate. Otherwise, they'd be spaced apart. So we got to... Kind of got an idea here, like... Okay, let's go grab a rotator, and since we're not using the welders, we'll put them here. Actually, it's a good point, is that this is also like a conveyor, I believe. Okay. It's been a while since I played this, peeps. Bear with me. I think it might be colliding with the block on the side is the idea. Why can't I press the right button? Because I'm a derp. Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to get my mind sort of used to the behavior here and then plan out a solution. So we kind of need to split them up, which is the weird thing. So what I'm thinking is we're going to have to rotate them. Actually, the way to do this might be have 2 rotations in a row. Then we bring it back round to like this spot, okay? In fact, I'm going to make that. Just want to see what happens here more than anything. It needs space. It needs space between them, right? So that means... actually, I could potentially just put the next one here. Is that the opposite of that one? There you go. Don't want that. Then it needs more space. Fascinating. Okay. The wrong one. There we go. Right. Here's an idea. Okay, so it's coming together now. I think I've actually got a solution. We need the welder, funny enough. I didn't think we'd need that. Okay, I'm gonna put the welder in here. So we're gonna weld at this spot. It is gonna be a little tricky. I think I need a bit more flexibility here, and this might backfire. Yeah, we're gonna go in at that spot. Okay, we're gonna have a piston here. So we bring them around, and the timing might not be good, but if it is, we push them across, right? That is when this arrives here. And that means they need a block down there. Something like that. Let's just see what happens, right? Almost. I made a mistake. That is supposed to be a conveyor belt. Now, it's not particularly fast, but what it does do... Oh. Kind of makes sense. No, this is working, right? Like, it's a working solution. It's just... These ones are sort of held in stasis, but then they're rotated, so they become the next part. It totally works. Now, before we complete this solution, we can increase the CPU cycles. I'm also wondering if there's anything else that can be done here. Like, one problem with the way I've used the piston... Hang on a minute. Maybe the piston isn't even necessary. Like, all we need is for 2 blocks, oops, to be alongside one another. Let's get rid of the sensor and the piston. And this should allow for a faster clock cycle as well, in theory. So if I make that a conveyor belt, and we put our welding system up here using the downwards facing welder. Now every block that passes through is not going to get welded until it's alongside the other direction. Right? That's pretty cool. And that's kind of it, really. That's kind of it. That is kind of it. Now I'm just wondering if there'd be any benefit to maybe doing all of this closer to this thing. Like, what if... The heck, didn't I just have one in my face? What if this all took place, like, way closer to this thing? I'm just wondering. Might save some blocks. Anyway, we should complete it now. So not as good of a footprint score, block score's okay, and cycle score, but one thing I did not do is increase the CPU, cycles, increase this. Let's put it on max, which I'm gonna guess will probably break. Yeah, did that just create an incorrect one? Yes, it did. Okay, turn them down by 1. It breaks them. There you go. That's as fast as it can make them. Okay, not bad. So what we're going to do, I think, is bring these blocks, like, pretty much all the way forward. You know, another idea just popped into my head. Using the piston again. So we've made one solution. Let's try and make another one. Right. I think what I'm going to do is go with the idea that just popped into my head, which would actually involve putting the welders, like, right over here. Right before you go in, you get welded. I think I can connect it like that. Okay, so then we want to have these things pretty much come all the way... the alignment could be a little better for our needs. Pretty much all the way over to here. Now what we want to do is use that rotation system again. But I think this time we're going to do it with a piston. Just going to pitch it. Let's check the flow rate here. Right, we've probably got enough time to take a turn. So we'll just do that here, just for the sake of it. So we bring them down like this. And then, I guess I kind of want to build this back to front, funny enough. It is right as they go through that last bit that we need them to join. So this might involve a little bit of timing, essentially. I think I'm going to go with that. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, that looks about right. I've immediately thought of a problem I can solve, actually. I wonder if this would have applied to the last level in any way. Probably not, but when you're working with 2 items, right? If you've got... why do I keep pressing the wrong button? It's ridiculous. If you've got, like... If you're going to send the block that you push on a different path, then in theory something like that can be useful. Right. Yeah, could see that coming. Could see that coming a mile off. So timing has to be very precise for this to work. Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes total sense as well. Let's go put that right there. It needs a conduit. Wait, did it actually? Actually, I think I might have reacted too soon. No? Okay, very nearly with the timing. I think we might get super lucky if that can go there. But I mean really ridiculously lucky. Oh, go on, go on. Oh, it's a little bit too fast for it. Right. Now, what can we do to get that just right? I guess, in theory, if I put everything back a block, or maybe 2 blocks, that would be it, right? So you'd become a block. And then... think just like that. That is how it was. Let's give it a shot. Go on, go on, go on. Oh, one more block and I think we got it, right? Just one more block. How about that? Right, we're missing a block. Boom. Here they come. Oh, they're still out of time. That makes me think I'm missing the point. Normal block under the welder so it gets pushed. Oh, genius. We should have done that originally. Okay, let's... So that's the one that goes too fast. So we do that. Then in theory... we're waiting for a block there. So actually we can compact this even further in that retrospect, right? Like, the rotators can go closer. And thus, that there. Actually, no, it needs to be backed by 1. Okay, so we know where the piston and the sensor go now. And this will be this level done best I can think of, basically. With help from chat. Thank you, chat. How's that? It's looking good. Nope, did it the wrong way around. Okay, it's good, we got it. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong... I swear my brain is just terrible at these things. Like, why? Always the wrong button. Okay, here we go. This has got to be it now. Yes! Okay. It appears to be consistent. Come on now. Come on now. So, our best was 56. Now we've got 35. Cycle score went up. Everything went up. Oh! Oh, amazing. Amazing. Right, continue to sell. That was superb. I enjoyed that. They're getting tougher, though, aren't they? But now we got the rotator block. So we got landing alignment lights, optical sensor array type 4, small excavator, and cargo uplifter. These sound fantastic, don't they? I mean, I've done them all before, but I'm stoked to be doing them again. Let's check it out. Where do the bits and bobs come from? Oh, wait, no, that is the bits and bobs. This is where they come from, peeps. So we have to create a group of 4 that are alternately put together. Let's bring this out. Can't help but feel that rotating from the middle might be a bit of a pain here. In fact, is there a way I could split these up a bit? Let's say we start like this. And we just want to detect the one that arrives at the end. So I'll use that sensor. We just want to detect that. That being said, I want to use pistons, right? So... oh, I could also use height. I'm going to use height to my advantage, right? Reason being, I think it's cool with a game like this to come up with your own challenges, solutions, whatever, right? I want to take advantage of height. I don't feel like we've done that before in a way we might be able to right now. So... we'll bring all of these across, and they can all rest on those blocks, and then we can push 2 off in this direction and 2 off in a different direction. But if we were to do that, okay, we can push them all off like that. Hang on, this requires a little more thought, because I can't push them in the other direction. And actually, I can push them in the other direction, then conveyor belts can take them off, right? Like that. But then maybe the... oh, I'm rotating something. Then the problem is probably the footprint again is getting rather large. So maybe this isn't the most intelligent way to do this. We'll see what happens. I've got another idea in my head brewing now, funny enough. Okay, so we're also going to need pistons over the other side, which would be in these 2 positions here. Okay, then conduits need to connect all of these together. And the sensor for those conduits is simply going to be at the end. This does make me wonder if there's other ways of doing this. Anyway, these blocks feel kind of unnecessary to me, so we'll get rid of them. But we do need a block somewhere down here to hold it all up. Okay, so we get 4. Now notice how that is the same amount as what we got going on over there. That's important. Okay, now where these land, what I'm going to do... This is going to be a challenge. I like this. Okay, this next bit could be very interesting. Let's see what happens when they land, right? Okay, that makes sense. Oh boy, this is interesting. Because I got a really cool idea in my head. What happens when that one lands on there? Oh, it works! It works. Okay, my idea works. Now, it might break at the next point, so we do this step by step, right? Oh my god, that's so cool. Will it break when I have them here? There's still more, my friends, okay? Like, we also got to bring them through, so we're going to try minimal amount of blocks is always the idea. Oh, that looks beautiful. Oh, that looks beautiful! What a solution. Okay. Forgive me for getting excited. Damn, that's good. Oh, that's such a good solution. And then it's ready to go. Now, what I've noticed is that the last one to arrive is, well, it's that one and that one over there. So now all we need is a bunch of welders. I'm sort of tempted to put them above, but I guess they can go over this side, right? Like, let's bring in the welding action. And then that's kind of it. Let's see what happens there. Oh my god, that's so cool. Now, we haven't tested this with faster cycles, but, you know, I'm kind of happy to go with that. If if there was an issue with the way we've laid these out, potentially we could raise them up and have them fall down. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Anyway. There's one more problem. It needs to be rotated again is the other problem. So I'm going to look at that block there and put in a rotation. So then this block here. And then I think it will be that block there that then needs to take it in that direction. Let's see what happens. It is, but it might be smarter to... Oh, look at the shape of the land here. All of this could probably do getting raised up. I think it might be smarter to not rotate yet. Hang on, pressing all the wrong buttons. I think it might be smarter to put a conveyor belt there. And I'm probably going to use a second one alongside it. Oh, that kind of works a little different than I thought. No, that makes total sense. Okay, so now, let's see where that ends up. Right, just to that one there. Actually, because we've got to shimmy it around there. Right, so then we need... I think I'm going to put one here. Not working quite how I expected. Let's move you over by one. So the rotation is good. I feel like it could have gone over by one more. And if it does, it leaves us with the next rotation here. Okay, so now we've avoided that landscape and used a very minimal amount of blocks to bring it along. And it is indeed, at this point... No, it's not the right solution. So, where we rotated it there, I used the incorrect rotation here. We need number 4. Right, now it should be aligned correctly, and then we just got to figure out where we put this block. Who's enjoying it? Who's enjoying this? This is some wonderful puzzle solving right here. Okay, so the terrain appears to get in the way. Let's put that there and have an... Oh yeah, okay, that's inevitable. The old falling off the cliff, the old gravity rule, eh? Yeah, now it's ready to be pushed across. Oh, but it's also off by a block. Oh, that being said, the next one... Look where the next one pushes it. So, hang on. If I go... rotate and then... That's an interesting observation there. If you let the objects push one another along, you could potentially end up using a lot less blocks overall. That's another mechanic we should exploit in a future puzzle. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong with it? I don't know. Did I use the incorrect rotation? Yeah, that's... Wait a minute, that's got to go... Speed it up. It's welded wrong, says Montas. I was wondering that in the back of my mind. But how... Wait, how can it be... I need to get the thing over here. Right, let's pause it. How can it be welded wrong? So if I rotate it twice, it becomes the same shape again. Therefore, if that piece is on the other end, then it's okay. Alright, I get it. That's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works over here. Which means... If I can rebuild this, so these rotate in the other direction, then it should in theory be the same thing. Okay, so now we do that. This actually effectively compacts it as well, right? Because now it's sort of heading closer to that end. Also, we've got 5 in a row. Did we have 5 in a row before? Hang on, no, we need... what is going on here? I'm not sure what we need. That's the problem there. Oh, I messed everything up. Isn't that the way it goes? So, what actually went wrong there, right? Both fall down at the same time. So those kind of seem to be problematic. I think we're going to have to strip it all back a little bit here. So they're both incapable of rotating? That one should be rotatable, right? Let's... Oh, I've messed up something there. Change the alternation of the pistons, Xisuma. Oh, come back to this stage. Oh, I think I get what you're getting at. Okay, so let's try and rebuild what we had before. Which I've partially forgotten. So we'll actually rebuild it like a bit at a time. Yeah. Okay, so I can see now that I want that and that, and this, which I think means that. That's how it was before, right? Okay, cool. So, changing the alternation of the pistons. So... Maybe... Well, one thing we could do is just have this lane here. If it were there, that would work. So if we picture it like that lane and that lane are shimmied over, they can actually go underneath this, possibly. I mean, it might be, unfortunately, a bit of a stretch. And the last thing I don't really want to do is push the whole thing over. So if we picture it like the one at the end here doesn't go that way, that's a rotation one. Let's think this through before we jump to any conclusion here. So what's weird is, like, why can't I rotate that in the other direction? Okay, see, that time it lets me. But then if I go ahead and change this one, it didn't last time. So, oddly enough, that one blocks this one. So there must be some sort of priority system going on here that's getting in the way. Put the last piston in front. Maybe that's... But the last one gets rotated, so it means we need to rotate down here. I know what to do. Let's not push... Let's... Oh, keys. Let's not push that one off, right? Let's forget about that one. Let's push it from this side. But what we'll do... So we no longer need that. In fact, we might kind of not actually... I know why we do. Well, hey, the solution I'm about to show might work for both sides. Let's put it like that, okay? But this also might get in the way of the rotation stuff. Yeah, it gets in the way. Kind of. Well, what we got? Jeez, wrong key. Wrong key. By the way, this is probably not going to work with cycles thing. We need to get that one piece there all the way to the other side. What have I done? What have I done? Let's watch it again. Wrong key. It's not the right way around. Okay, I think ultimately we need to rebuild this all a little bit further over here, which would actually potentially help. I probably wouldn't reduce the footprint that much. I think what we've got to look at it like is the first one out. And let me start this all over again. Right. This one needs to... The first one out on this side, if it were rotating, then it would all be shifted over by one block. Let's try that, okay? So I'm going to undo this little idea for now. Bring back the piston on this side to keep everything kind of clear and understood. That means we need this over here. Although actually, it's not... Yeah, right, let's keep it all in line. So now our sensor needs to go over here by one. Conjure it like that. And instead of that, it needs to be over on this side. Okay, that, in theory, is what we want to do. Now, have I pushed everything here over correctly? Let me think about it. So, that one drops down into that space. And now we've got this space as well. Is it not? It's not the same thing again. No, it's not. Okay, so now when I put that there, we get rid of those blocks on the edge. And we add those like this. Right, what happened up here? Okay. Missing something. Why did that not work like it did before? Well, that one's totally useless, so it can't... It feels like I haven't shifted these ones over, although I thought I did. Anyway, do they come out in the right order? No. Is another problem. Huh. You remove the leftmost rotator. Oh wait, try rotating the other way. There seems to be a weird priority thing where rotating them the other way is a problem. What I can do here, which I haven't really done before, right, let's see, we drop them in at particular heights. Let's start with this one. Okay, let's try that and see, just for a second. Like, that allows that one to rotate. Then this one's stuck in this middle spot. It's always going to be stuck if we use height. So it's a shame that that one can't take priority just to begin with. And I don't know how we'd slow it down over here, really. Unless we had this piston operating on a different sensor, which is totally possible. If I just add that there. Okay, so something like that would allow this one to come out at a slightly different time. And then those two over there fall down, which is because we don't have a supporting block over here. Now that looks promising, right? So if we go ahead and add in these blocks, I'm not sure if that one there's necessary, so I might have taken out too many. Let's check it out. See what happens. Right, now the way they're grouped together is the correct way around. Woohoo! Finally! Yeesh! Right, the last one to come in was actually the one at the end, which kind of means we use the similar setup here. By the way, we've got a noise in the air. It's Geeson1 here for 8 months. Warning, do not look at the sun through a colander. You will strain your eyes. I thought you were going to get me to look at the sun in the game, but it's not here. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate the support. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Oh, do these have a block anywhere? Now they do. Okay, so if that one goes there, we need that. We need groups of 3 in between each time. So let's not worry about the rest of this right now. Let's just check that thing getting out of there. So when it gets to that bit, we kind of want it to get pushed that way. I think we got it now, peeps. And then we got like the alignment game over here. Yeah, so notice that it comes out way too far. 2 blocks too far, right? Here's what we're going to do. I think it needs one more there. Look at it go! Beautiful! Beautiful! We have done it, my friends. Finally! Oh! Took a little bit of time. Can you do a downwards facing world as a smaller footprint? I'm not sure what footprint is defined by. I'm really not. I wouldn't know why they would create a smaller footprint. We messed around with like it being an overall space. It doesn't seem to be that. So, kind of like best that everyone else has done. Now let's increase the input rate. It can handle that. No problem. Up again. Or it's not going to do any more than that, I think. Up again. And then it's stuffed. So here we go. Here's the fastest we can do it. Also, we could use less blocks if we kind of like let them back up in a chain. Which would be an interesting idea. So there we go. Slightly better than usual cycle score, which I think is probably mostly down to people not really caring about it, you know. Ritter says in capital letters, show your face immediately. Oh, Ritter! Oh god, I'm going to have to do it immediately. Those capital letters, they are so commanding. It's like I just have to obey anything written in capital letters. Oh my goodness me. Well then, let me turn my webcam on. You should be able to see it right now. Hope you're enjoying it. What do you think, chats? Let Ritter know what you think of my face. They demanded it. Now you get to see it. I've turned the webcam on. That's all I have to do, right? Is just turn it on at the wall. You know? I think that's how it works. Anyway, my friends, you might have guessed it, but we've come to the end of our live stream session for today. I hope you've been entertained. Be sure to hit the follow button before you head out of here. And as you know, we do a raid. And I'm going to go look for someone playing Infinifactory. Infinifactory. Yes. And there's a good possibility that no one else is playing. And the other person that is Korean. So if you are a Korean viewer, you can go check out Infinifactory here on Twitch and check out what they're up to. But I'm probably just going to leave them alone. I'll send you to J Methods, who is playing Minecraft. So if you like some Minecraft, you can hit the raid button in chat. That is it. Thank you ever so much, peeps. I appreciate it, and I'll see you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.